Hey Tim, it's getting very windy at my place. How is it where you are?
Yeah, not too bad actually. It's
Yeah,
not terrible, but better inside than out.
yeah, no doubt
Yeah,
about
it
that.
might be the last remnants of winter with a bit of luck.
Oh, fingers crossed. The most important thing we need to talk about today is the COVID plan. We know that fair trading are out in the market actually checking that A, you've got a plan, and B, you are adhering to it. So what can you tell me about that?
Yeah, certainly they are. I spoke to Fair Trading yesterday, and there has been a number of consumer complaints. So one example was that they reckon there was about 40 people in this particular property
Yeah,
at one time, and so it's hard to see how the required social distancing was in place on that occasion. So Fair Trading have had to obviously follow that up. The way that I think this is going to work, as far as where we can support our members out there, is we're looking at putting together a generic plan to assist people with documents and these sorts of things,
yeah,
and to so that you can pick that up and do it. However, the really important point is what you've said. If you've got a great plan and it stays in the office and not implemented, you're only wasting your time. And we've said repeatedly, Leanne, as you know, that these opens that we're currently doing are a right, not a
no, they're a privilege, not a right.
all right. That's exactly it.
Yeah,
They can be
absolutely.
taken from us very, very quickly. So
I'm so bloody frustrated, can I tell you?
yeah,
Because I had one of my Lang & Simmers officers had Fair Trading come out and visit to check through their COVID plan this week. Thankfully, they were compliant. But I'm so frustrated with there's so many agents out there that are just not doing the right thing. And they will be the first ones to complain if Fair Trading shut us down. So, get it sorted out, people.
So the thinking, and I know that people are going to scream when they hear this, but
Yeah.
the thinking is we're going to need somebody to stay out the front of the property and have people making sure those people, to the best of our ability, keep some distance. I don't know whether or not we can put little foot things down the path. We are all in uncharted waters. Then somebody inside as they come in, which would normally be the person that would be taking your details and talking about you going through the property. And then, believe it or not, somebody like they do at gyms and in a gym and other places, you have somebody in a
COVID marshal
vest called the COVID master or something, and they walk around squirting stuff. Now, I know that it's crazy, but this may be where we will be heading. So you'll have to go and constantly clean the door handles and the like in wardrobes and kitchens and all these sorts of things. I can hear people already,
Yeah.
but I'm not making the rules. But I'm afraid if we don't follow the rules, and the first thing is to get our own plans together, then my great fear is they'll shut us down. And if you speak to anybody down in Victoria who can't do any business whatsoever, they would crawl over cut glass to be able to do what I've just suggested.
Yeah, absolutely. So first step is to make sure you've got the COVID plan, you've got the signs up in your office, and then you need to actually deliver on the COVID plan. So one of your team members at REI had a look at some property this weekend. Last weekend, a number of people didn't have hand sanitizer. Some people didn't take details, and none of the agents were wearing masks. So, if we get shut down, people, you've only got yourselves to blame. So get it sorted out, and the team at REI are happy to help. And we'll organise a plan template, right?
That's it. We're on it.
Beautiful. Now, we were also told last year by Fair Trading, if we got our licence done, if we moved from having a certificate of registration to getting a full licence before the 23rd of March, we would then be able to apply for a Class 1 licence. However, we're hearing that people are getting knocked back.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing, which is bizarre because the thinking with this was prior to the 23rd, if you had your licence, because there was no Class 1, Class 2, if you had a license prior to the 23rd, you could go and open up a business. You had that entitlement, all right? Even if you've only had it for 5 minutes, you had an entitlement to go and open a business. Yeah. So that was going to be preserved going forward, and now it's not. So I'm a bit lost like you are, but I
get onto it, my friends. Get onto it. Okay, we'll so you'll reach out. Yeah, you'll reach out to Fair Trading, and we'll hopefully update everybody next week. Talk to me about land tax. What's happening in that space?
So 2 things about land tax. Thing 1 is that not a lot of people have gone and accessed it. Now, I appreciate in the residential world, I know a lot of people may not have done that because there's only 16% of residential rentals that are actually subject to land tax.
Yeah.
In the commercial area, though, that it would probably be, we'd probably flip those numbers, and 84% would be subject to land tax. Now, I don't know why people haven't pursued it, but it is available up until the end of September. And this is now thing 2.
Right.
It's being extended to the end of December this year.
Okay.
So please, if you haven't looked at it, if you are a property manager in commercial, or for that matter, the 16% in resi, go onto the OSR website, have a look. If you can't find it, contact the REI. We might even be able to put the website out as part of this visit as well. This presentation straight afterwards, Leanne.
Yeah,
but it's there, it's available. So if you're entitled, grab it.
For sure. Now, you have a bit of a view on stamp duty and the fact that investors on the stock exchange don't pay it.
Correct. Now,
why not, damn it?
I have a view on a lot of things, but we'll just keep it to this one.
That did come to mind when I said those words.
All right. So let's go back to the Prime Minister in March said, we are all in this together.
Yeah.
All right? So it would appear that we're all in it together, but some of us are more in it than others.
Yeah.
And the landlords are having to absorb the effect of COVID on their tenants, be it residential or be it commercial. They're having to do that. However, our friends that are trading equities, because it was the decision of theirs to buy shares, I should say, not property, they're free of any tax, any burden whatsoever. It's not like as if somebody's saying, here is your dividend check, and by the way, I'm going to take a chunk of it away because of COVID. They're not doing that. So that, to me, doesn't look like we're all in it together. So I'm going to put out a press release shortly and be saying that I think that there should be something on share transactions that can assist the property market, assist tenants. Assisting tenants means assisting landlords. And I think it is appropriate, if we are all in this together, that those folks also shoulder some of the burden.
Yeah, fantastic. I'll look forward to hearing more about that. We have got the supervision guidelines are available for pre-order.
Yes,
and
they
so we've got a very special price on those. They're normally for members $395 and for non-members $495. But if you order before Monday of next week, the 24th of August, they are $345 and $445 respectively.
Correct. Now, something I haven't even shared with you about the guidelines, let me tell you. So what we decided to do this time around was to put them exclusively online.
Yeah.
Now, the reason we decided to do that was because the world is changing so fast that if we gave it to people, and you can print them out if you want to, print them out.
Yeah.
But we decided what we would do is to provide them to you online, and with all the checklists and everything you need, but then in the background, we will constantly keep them up to date for a nominal fee each year.
Yeah.
So that every time you look at them, they are up to date. As you know, the legislation just keeps rolling out, and there's changes to practice and all of those things. So we decided not to provide them in hard copy for that reason. But like I said, if you want to print them out, do so. But they'll be dating the moment you do it.
Yeah, okay, great idea. JobKeeper update, what's happening with that?
Yeah, I'm not 100% across it, but what I can say is that it has been extended, which is great news. Although I understand that the criteria has changed from what it was previously, so not everybody is going to be able to access it.
Yeah, which is understandable, right? The government can't keep on paying at the level that it's been paying. We'll be paying it off until the year 3020 if we do.
Yeah, I don't share that view. I think they should just give us money. But anyway, they're not going to. But it has been extended. So so if
talk to your accountant.
Yeah, there you go. There's some good advice. Yeah. So you don't want to miss out on it if you're entitled. So it has been extended. Point one. Point two. Find out.
Yeah. Cool. A couple of other things before we go. The board elections, we've got 3 weeks to go, and we've got 5 positions, 2 metro, 2 non-metro, and 1 residential real estate. So if you are thinking about being on the board, now is your time. And Friday, our webinar, 10:30 on Friday, we have got the phenomenal John Cunningham is going to join us to talk about what changes he's going to keep from COVID, what he's implemented that's really worked well, what he's implemented that hasn't worked so well, and what he thinks is going to be, what people need to do to prepare for what is next. There's a lot of conversations around what's going to happen when the JobKeeper does change, when banks no longer have their holidays, all of that sort of stuff. So John's going to have a bit of a conversation about that. So I think that is going to be one not to miss.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It is. We're going to go into a completely different market, and I know internally we've been talking about training sessions for to be offered to agents that are going to have to obviously deal with a different set of emotional challenges. And when people will be selling their property under stress, I think that's inevitable. And so agents are going to have to be dealing with that and becoming psychologists and the like as part of that process. And they're going to be taking a lot of that stress on, as we know, and that was reinforced for us last week, Leanne, with that presentation from Beyond Blue, which I thought was excellent, frightening, but an excellent presentation.
Yeah, it was an excellent presentation, and if you did miss it, you can actually jump onto the website and watch the recording. I definitely recommend it. Yeah. Okay. Anything else before we go?
I was fortunate enough today to meet with the Minister for Small Business, Damien Tudhope, and we had quite a lot on the agenda. But one of the things that I was able to raise and talked about, and he was all over it, to be honest with you, was some of the problems we've got on the borders. And he said, if you've got problems, think about where I sit, because I'm, obviously right across all the industries, and he appreciated and acknowledged that it is a very difficult space. So I know that they're working on it. It was a very good meeting, and he's certainly across the issue. So hopefully we can have further discussions with him.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some positive outcomes for our friends on the borders. Yeah, beautiful. All right, well, you have very much so. You have a wonderful afternoon, and I will look forward to seeing you again very soon.